I've never physically met them before, nor have I physically abused anybody across the board.
3 years ago, in June of 2020, the YouTuber MiniLad, who was once considered a YouTube icon in the gaming scenery, had gotten his entire career torn to pieces for talking to multiple minors he had sexted and manipulated when they were all underage at the time, crushing his reputation to an all-time low. Over the past 3 years, the MiniLad situation has been one of the more controversial circumstances, this being because MiniLad is one of the few creators on the platform who have gotten exposed for illegal activities and has remained untouched on the YouTube platform as a whole. I made a video a little over a year ago going over the downfall of MiniLad, but looking back at the video, it wasn't that high quality, wasn't that good, and was missing quite a lot of details. So let me know if you guys want to see me doing these types of videos more, or me revisiting extremely controversial people years later. So everyone, we're going to be revisiting MiniLad aka Craig 3 years later.
I want to talk about a lot of the stuff that's been going on online lately, whether it's through YouTube or Twitter.
And if you did not know about this story, please reconsider supporting this man.
I'm not looking for sympathy, I'm not looking for anything. This is not what this is about. This is telling you guys the reason.
I don't particularly want to work with the guy. I know he made a video saying we're patching things up, which is not true.
I'm aware that everything in my life that's happened up to this moment is my fault.
If you choose to support him, I don't give a shit.
Either way, absolutely fucking disgusting.
I mean, they kicked me out of all their chat, so I have no idea what the hell they're doing. I lost friends over this. I lost fans over this.
There may be bits and pieces that I missed, and for that I apologize.
Now, since that there's so much in the downfall of MiniLad, we're gonna make the upright short and sweet. The MiniLad channel was created in 2011 by a 16-year-old kid named Craig Thompson. This was during a time period Call of Duty videos were the main subject of content. So throughout 2011, MiniLad posted Call of Duty videos with other games here and there, getting little attention. But it wouldn't be until 2012 when MiniLad began to stumble upon the growing sort of content videos, trolling content, as these types of videos was what led MiniLad to join in the Vanoss gaming crew, which at the time the Vanoss gaming crew was the biggest YouTube trolling channel. And from there, they would make extremely entertaining and funny trolling videos that many people loved, and they would eventually go on to become the icon for YouTube trolling content in the mid-2010s. Their bright, vibrant thumbnails became an iconic part of YouTube's history, and being in the Vanoss gaming crew had benefited MiniLad's growth a ton, as it was essentially a bunch of YouTube content creators collaborating on a daily basis. In early 2013, MiniLad had gained over 400,000 subscribers in only just 3 short months after joining Vanoss gaming crew. It was clear that MiniLad was well respected by the YouTube platform and had a really good healthy relationship with Vanoss gaming. He went from a nobody to a rising gaming creator who's been featured in one of the biggest YouTube gaming channels on the site. And with all the success that MiniLad was getting, you have to ask the question, what went wrong? He had everything that anybody would have dreamed of having, a massive group of people that liked him, and being able to make videos under the biggest gaming channel on the site. Well, for MiniLad, that was part of the problem. Craig didn't like the fact that his entire YouTube career was basically overshadowed by the Vanoss gaming crew. So around 2017-2018, this resulted in MiniLad distancing himself from making content with the Vanoss gaming crew, so he could focus on his channel solo. And doing this solo, he would go on to hit 2 million, 3 million, 4 million, and 5 million subscribers all on his own, with also pulling in a very impressive viewership consistently. But rather than being a smooth transition from making content with Vanoss gaming crew to then making videos on his own, after a few months of completely doing YouTube solo on his own, MiniLad would begin to start throwing some shade to his former friends from Vanoss gaming crew. This all started from a live stream in 2018, where MiniLad was live streaming Mario Kart, and somebody from his chat had asked him why he was no longer making videos with Vanoss gaming crew, and his response was quite bitter.
Keep it up. The only thing I want to ask is how come you don't play with Vanoss Gaming?
Wow. Because I don't play Gmod anymore. That's all he does. Question done. I'm also breaking off into a solo YouTuber because it's a lot more fun.
Now you can make the argument that he just didn't want to play Gmod anymore, and he didn't even for a statement to come across as him being a dick about it. But in April of 2019, so almost a year later, he was going to back up his previous statement by throwing even more shade at them.
I also have no idea. They're still playing Gmod? Damn. For all this time, they're still playing Gmod? I mean, they kicked me out of all their chat, so I have no idea what the hell they're doing, so.
But then after he said this, he was going to say that he left the group on his own terms.
Just to clear up some shit, I wasn't kicked. All they did was play Fortnite and Gmod and then talk shit about other YouTubers, so I said, F that. I broke away from that group. I'm doing my own thing. I've never felt better. My community's stronger than ever. I'm pulling more views than ever, and I'm personally a lot more happy as a human.
This statement seemed like an attempt to make himself look like the victim of being a part of a friend group that kicked him out. This resulted in Terrorizer, one of the former friends from Vanoss Gaming, to speak up about MiniLad badmouthing them for no reason.
Why not invite Mini? I'll tell you why.
He doesn't play with us. He left. And then he decided on stream to badmouth myself and my friends. Well, mainly just my friends. And I didn't appreciate that. So, I don't play with the guy lately. Because he's going on his meme streams talking shit about us. It's not cool.
This would then also be ensued in a back and forth argument between Terrorizer and Manilad, and would cause Terrorizer to make a giant tweet longer, explaining their entire falling out. It started at the E3 Monster Cat party exchange in LA, and while I was there I bumped into Craig. After the party, we all decided to go back to someone's house. Craig offered, so we ordered an Uber to go there. In the Uber, Tyler made a joke about Craig's Ferrari, and thinking it was all in good fun. I joined in on the same joke. I was sitting in the seat front of Craig, so I couldn't tell if he was bothered by the jokes, which were based off of a quote from the BBC News report about the local rugby team. When we arrived at the house, people were rushing to the bathroom to use it. I made a joke as it was happening, saying, "Let's pee in the pool." I ran out to the back of the pool and pulled my pants to my ankles to pretend to pee. That night continued as normal without me thinking it was a problem. Later on, Craig went down upstairs to his girlfriend who was in the room alone. Craig returned to downstairs, and soon after he started to make it seem like that my girlfriend and I were not welcomed, so we decided to leave. We ordered an Uber, said goodbye, and went home just believing everything was fine, but still just unsure if we misinterpreted the scenario. I meant no malicious intent on any of the jokes I made, and I joined in on jokes, so accusing me of starting the joke is not fair. I thought it was a group of friends having fun together. Craig then interjected me saying, "I have so much going on in my mind right now." I replied with, "We all have things going on in our life." Once I finished that, Craig replied with, "But Brian, my dog just died." To which I replied with, "Craig, my dad just died." But that doesn't give me the right to take my own frustration on everyone else because of my own personal grievances and use that as a reasonable excuse for my own actions. He would then go on to debunk this shit talk and claim that Craig said they did, as Terrorizer would go on to say that it was just them having purely different opinions on one another, and that it wasn't all good but it wasn't all bad. And if you're asking me, it just seems like Maylad projecting. Then during that same year, Maylad had made a video where he explained that him and Terrorizer were patching their friendship and were actually making up with each other.
Finally meet up with Brian, we're figuring things out. You know, we talked backstage at Evan's show and we shook hands and we're gonna work on it. So like, you know, I miss the dude and it's good to see things coming together.
If only that statement was true, because it turned out that Maylad was completely lying about it and that they were patching their friendship up together and they hadn't even talked to each other.
Well, I don't work with Minnie after he tried to publicly oust me for something I didn't do and didn't say and tried to ruin my reputation. So yeah, I don't particularly want to work with the guy. I know he made a video saying we're patching things up, which is not true.
And with his reputation now being at stake, he would eventually come on and apologize to Terrorizer for all of the bad mouthing he said to him and the Vanoss gaming crew. But this apology wouldn't get Maylad off the hook, because he made this apology in June of 2020, which was also the same year his biggest scandal would be exposed to the public. In late June of 2020, Maylad's ex-girlfriend Samantha had come out to Twitter saying he was a very toxic and manipulative partner to her. No, Craig didn't rape me, but it was an extremely toxic and manipulative relationship. He mentioned me to a few of my friends to make sure I didn't say anything about him specifically. And the very next day, two females, Holly and Ash, would come forward with their stories from when they were both minors of Maylad taking advantage of them and doing some pretty weird shit with them. Holly would say, "When I was 16 around the time Craig and his ex had broken up, he was severely depressed. I saw the dark side of him and his depression, and I will choose out of respect to keep that private unless it involves what I will be talking about. It took me years to realize that he used his suicidal tendencies to pity him into not talking about these things publicly. The fact that I can't look at his name without thinking about the shit he did really bugs me to this day." So that being said, this is my story. Of course, me trying to be a good friend, I listened to everything he had to say and even said sure there was hope in changing her and shit like that. Even shit talk about her with him, which was very wrong of me. I'll admit, I was being a bit of an ass kisser. Reason being was, I had a crush on him. He knew that. I had to sometimes sit and listen to him talk about how he got an erection over his sex or whatever, despite him knowing how I felt about him. But then, I don't remember why, but we were joking around to where I said something about his dick being small. I guess he took that personally, as you see in the replies of our conversation that started on Twitter, that he moved to Discord so he could delete the photos that he sent to me. He sent me pictures in his underwear of him and his bulge of his penis, which I did not ask for at all. I want to clarify, the reason I was acting cool with this was because I had a fucking crush on him, so whatever, right? And didn't really know better. Remember, I was a minor, I was 16 and he knew I liked him. What would you want me to say? I want you to say how big he is. I have a kink for people saying how big my dick is, lol. Like, if you were to compliment how big my dick is, I would get so hard so fast. It wouldn't take me long to come at all, lol. Are you kidding me? Your dick is huge. That's so easy. It's actually massive. Ash would then go on to say that Maynard had groomed her when she was 16 at the time, and she would go on to say that they were both close friends at the time, and she was actually originally a fan of him. But as they began talking more, the topic of virginity came up, and he began asking her really inappropriate questions, like if she was a virgin or not, and if he could take her virginity. He had even asked her if they could have sex at her house, to which she said that they couldn't because of complications at her house. That made us cancel our trip, a blessing in disguise. Although I never went to physically meet him, things continued to be sexual. We called a few times on Discord and asked me for news quite often. I initially told him that I wasn't comfortable signing things like that, but I was afraid after all he would lose interest, so I complied. I can't say exactly how many pictures and videos he were exchanged, but it was quite a few. He initiated nearly every conversation because I was too intimidated to message him first in fear of bothering him. Once these allegations had surfaced, fans of Mainlad didn't exactly know who to believe, since he didn't respond yet to the situation, but he would then eventually come up with a statement about the allegations about him, and he would then disappear from the internet for about a month. And in that time period, he had lost about 10,000 subscribers following the accusations. But with an overwhelming amount of backlash he was getting, this ultimately pushed him to make a video called Clearing the Air, where it was supposed to be a response video of him clearing the air by giving a side of the story of the drama, but let's just say that it really wasn't a response video. This video for the most part did anything but clear the air, but instead all this video did was confirm that Mainlad was a liar and someone who struggled to own up to their own mistakes. And one part of the video, Craig said that he never abused any minors and only sexted them, and he tried to use that as his way of saying that he wasn't a bad person.
After this all came out, I did make a statement on this over on my Twitter, but now I think is the correct time to sit down and make a video addressing it. The first thing that I wanted to talk about with these allegations is I've never physically met them before, nor have I physically abused anybody across the board.
This was then followed by Holly making her own video, saying how Mainlad was a scumbag and a liar who manipulates people.
His life was in my hands. I was 16, 17. Just a young fucking girl with her own fucking problems who felt responsible for another person's life because I was scared. I was fucking scared, and he knew that. He took advantage of that, and I'm ashamed. I'm really ashamed.
This had all soured Mainlad's reputation to an all-time low, and surprisingly, Craig didn't respond to her video, and instead just kept uploading YouTube videos for a couple more months. And in his videos, he tried to play like nothing was wrong, but in reality, deep down inside, he knew he was in some shit. And when you make a crappy response video and go silent on the situation, that's when they're gonna amp up the hate on you even more. So in late December of 2020, Mainlad had ultimately reached the breaking point and made a video actually going over his side of the story for once. But very quickly, people saw this was another video of him basically using different excuses for his actions that he did. As for majority of the video, he said that he was very suicidal in 2017, and that was why he wasn't in the right headspace during the time he was sexing minors.
The reason I did what I did, and there was even a message where I said this, is because what I said there is true. I did try to end my life at the beginning of 2017. I'm not looking for sympathy. I'm not looking for anything. This is not what this is about. This is telling you guys the reason.
After Mainlad's second apology video, he ended up going ghost on the internet and would delete his initial Clearing the Air video. And while he was gone, sometime in February of 2021, the Hollywood Fixer had spotted him and asked him when he was coming back to YouTube, to which he replied that he was trying to focus on himself and trying to get himself better. And 8 months later, from Mainlad's December apology video, he came back to YouTube with a video going over how he went to therapy and worked to get himself better. And in the video, he didn't even mention about the allegations that got his reputation destroyed by the public, and he had even deleted both apology videos, showing signs that he was trying to distance himself from the controversy.
For me, I'm aware that everything in my life that's happened up to this moment is my fault. So I knew that if I was gonna work on me and if I wanted to come back to this, I wanted to come back to entertaining, I wanted to come back to everything, I knew I needed to work on me, right?
No matter how much Mainlad tries to persuade his audience that he's still the same with Mainlad that people watched back years before the controversy, people are always gonna remember Mainlad as a YouTube creep that uses mental health as an excuse. And now that brings us to today. Mainlad has consistently been losing subscribers and is a channel with over 4 million subscribers and barely averages 50,000 views a video. Whether Mainlad is doing better for himself like he and his fans claim, I don't think people are gonna really give a shit. If you get exposed for doing weird stuff with minors and you're a fully grown adult, then no matter what you do, there's practically no recovering from that. He's been trying to fix his damaged career for about 2 years since he came back to YouTube, to no avail. The biggest thing to take from Mainlad is to stay out of trouble, and that things from your past will always come back and resurface when you start getting a lot of attention. Mainlad lost a lifetime of progress in just a few days from things that he could have just easily avoided. But that's all for today's video. Thanks for sticking by me during this time. Life has been busy as hell and I haven't had much time to record videos as much as I want to, and I hate leaving you guys without many uploads. So I do apologize for that. Go for my Twitter, ScorpionYT. But thanks for the support recently, thanks for watching, I'll see you guys in my next video. Peace out.